Connor, make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
All right.
Can I coach him a little bit
Nope.
with that?
No, this is funnier. That is a 4.
A 4. You call down, look around you, and she does look around the room. But she's... Alex and Gus, give me an insight check.
Yep.
Ooh, that is
It's so
a
frustrating.
16.
Alex?
That's an insight of 14.
Gus, as she looks around the room, as Connor calls down, like, hey, you're all alone, your people's bugged out, look around, like it's just us now. And she does look around, and you see hopelessness across her face. So when she comes back, once again, defiant, it's not that she hasn't been convinced. She has been. It's that she's resigned to it. For some reason, she understands that her masters have betrayed her, and she doesn't know why or what exactly happened. But whatever the reason, that is the situation now. And that's not cause for her to betray them in turn.
Gus looks at her and sighs and says, listen, I can see it on your face. And let me patch your leg up, and then you can go on your way, and like you don't have to go back to them.
And she motions the wall behind her, so back here. Says, if I remove my armor and let you see to this wound, you'll remove the wall and I'll be free to go?
He says, we didn't put the wall there.
Lies upon lies.
Lady, do I look like a person who's good at lying?
You look like the greatest fool I've seen yet.
That's probably true.
What's next?
But there is I guess there is a dragon out there that has a cold breath, and then like he's going to point at the ice on his armor.
Mm-hmm.
That breathed on us and tried to kill us.
Well, that ice is long melted. I mean, you guys took 10 minutes up there to...
well, okay. Like, he sealed us in.
She doesn't have an immediate answer for that. But she stops struggling with her leg. Says, do what you must. I don't understand your methodology, but I see now that there's no arguing with you. I'm at your mercy, such as it is. Would that you had none.
Gotcha. I'm gonna splint her leg.
Okay?
Then you shouldn't have jumped down the hole, Lucius quips.
That's a 10.
Okay, so yeah, you get a splint on her leg. Get it set. And no sooner do you do this, she gets back up to her feet. She's putting her weight on her good leg. And it's causing her great pain, but she can move around like this.
Do you want to go back up through the hole?
Your only route out.
She asks how many more chapters there is to this farce. How much more acting must you do?
Acting. What do you think I'm... What act do you think I'm putting on?
She says that you insist that my sister is still alive, that my duty remains incomplete, but you won't tell me where she is or what she has done. In fact,
No.
You didn't even know her name or who she was.
Lady,
Or what she stood accused of.
We didn't say we knew your sister was alive. We said that there's probably a good chance she's alive because you were in the middle of your swing when whatever happened to you happened.
What's Alex's kind of demeanor as Gus is going about this task?
I mean, Alex just doesn't really care about this woman anymore.
Okay.
All right. Well, I suppose whatever. So you want to stay down here or do you want to go back up?
She looks up the hole. And the hole, it's too tall to be able to see Connor and Lucius up there unless you have crazy dark vision.
Uh-huh.
Alex does, so.
And she probably does.
Actually, no, I think she's only got 60 feet.
Huh.
Then you assure me that Iriadul still lives, and the masters are still in the temple. It hasn't been brought down.
As far as we know.
Then who is it you work for? Why have you come here as enemies of the temple?
We're enemies of Iriadul, not of the temple.
Iriadul and the temple are the same.
They weren't always.
Gus, do you have an answer for her?
Iriadul's attacking the city where we're from, and we came here to stop it.
And what city is that?
Dunfoss, Iriadul's city of origin.
She looks taken aback for a moment before catching herself. She tells you that Iriadul came from below, not from above.
No. He was a former king of our city who disappeared one day and was presumed
Have you
dead.
ever seen the captive they keep in the southern chamber near the Minotaurs?
And she shakes her head and says that was not one of her duties. She knew that Iriadul had an important captive there, but she's never concerned herself with it.
Well, the reason he's important is he's also from our city.
And this is a place that we're bringing conquest to, no doubt.
No conquest, just
Destruction.
just destruction and death.
And you can see that she's agreeable to that, if nothing else.
And it's pretty senseless.
What's next? Do you have anything else for her?
I mean, I don't want to leave you here. But we can't leave you at our backs.
She tells you that if you're foolish enough to leave her alive, she's going to find a way to get back to the temple and inform them about your movements.
If that's the case, then she needs to take a stand. She needs to stand directly beneath this thing so I may relieve her of her life.
She is directly beneath the hole.
Yeah, she's been there.
I mean,
is Lucius still translating?
There's probably 3 people. Gus is still trying to talk to this lady, but I assume at this point there are 2, possibly 3 people that are taking her as that are about to shoot her in the face, right? Is that what's about to happen?
That's kind of where Lucius is getting, yes.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Connor is on the brink.
Sounds like you've got precious little time to bring this back, guys.
I mean,
But
like,
Connor says, you can go and tell them our movements. It'll be no help because they know we're here. We are your only salvation at this point.
She looks down at Gus again, because Connor's yelling this through the hole.
Yep.
She asks Gus why he hasn't killed her yet. And she's tired of playing games. She wants to hear the honest truth. She's as upset with Gus as Gus is with her.
but there's no reason for me to kill you. You haven't done anything to us, and you look like you've been wronged.
She says that her leaders are apparently planning conquest and destruction of the cities where you're from. That if left unfettered, she and her people are going to destroy you and yours. There must be some other reason why you need her alive.
Truthfully for Gus, he legitimately just doesn't want to kill this lady.
Is that what you tell her?
Like, yeah, I legitimately just don't want to kill you. I see no need to. It's not Gus's way. It's not my way. to kill unarmed non-combatants, and that's what you are at the moment because you're not armed and you're injured. And I'm not going to be the one to kill you.
She asks, is it not your duty as a man of Dunfoss to stand in its defense to those who would harm it? Are your countries that soft?
You didn't even know what Dunfoss was 5 minutes ago.
She admits that she's heard the name before. Her sister and Eriadul had talked about it. It had been mentioned. As well as there were other names. Caer Tyrell and Blue Worm.
Is Caer Tyrell the
specific.
dwarven city?
Caer Tyrell is a kingdom far, far to the south of Blue Worm that has strong ties with elves. That has had no feature in this campaign, but it's one of the three main cities of the continent where you guys live on.
Mm-hmm.
She tells you better pray that this foolishness of a time skip, of being frozen for over a decade, is indeed just a story. Because her understanding is that Eriadul and her sister have put agents in place inside of your cities, that they've been operating for years, that the destruction is long at hand.
Lucius looks at Alexander. Oh, yeah, Alexander's not down there with him.
You can look at Connor.
And now that Eriadul has come into his artifacts, what else stands in his way? This man before me who refuses to kill?
I really want to know what the artifact is.
I do as well.
Do you ask her? You guys can
Yeah.
still call down to her.
Yeah, no, it's Connor will ask
What
again.
is this? What is this rutting artifact?
She tells you that Eriadul has an agent inside the church of one of your false gods of the Softlands. And she describes, because she's seen this thing when it came into Eriadul's power. The artifact she describes is the Kodrashi Fork. It was delivered unto one of Eriadul's men. Eriadul retrieved it, killed the interloper who delivered it so that nobody was coming after it. And it was this item that her sister coveted. This was the treason that her sister betrayed.
Lucius's eyes go wide at this description, dude, Connor.
She can't see it
Okay.
because you're all the way at the top of the hole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no.
Connor sees it.
Gus face palms. He goes, well, good news. You haven't been frozen for months. I mean, for years. And, like, he's just holding his...
And she looks delighted by the reaction. She mistakes your facepalm for, oh, I guess it's over now because Eriadul has a powerful artifact.
Mm-hmm.
So kill me or let me live. It makes no difference to the Master's plan. He saw my sister's treachery coming and foiled it before she had a chance to ruin his scheme.
And yet your blade did not come down on her neck.
Well, we don't have time for this.
Okay, so what's next? Because you can go around with her as much as you want.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Unless you
done.
have-
Lucius is
Unless you have
Lucius
some other
is going
tactic.
to pull the trigger. Lucius is willing to pull the trigger on this one.
Kill her or let her go. I mean, letting her go means she's trapped in this cave.
Do we have some idea of how long it will take this ice to melt?
You guys destroyed a wall of ice previously. It didn't take that long, but this is probably a lot thicker because it's encompassing a much smaller space.
Mm-hmm.
As far as how long it takes to melt, difficult to say. So the question is, are you killing her or letting her live?
Gus is not going to kill her. He's just going to fly back
Is
up
Gus
the hole.
going to stop Alex from killing her?
Gus is not expecting you to kill her.
Okay.
So as soon as Gus is clear up through the hole, Alex reaches down and puts bullets in her.
Well, I was going to use my sword since I'm down here.
Oh, okay. I thought you had flown back up.
No, no.
All right. So yeah, Alex executes the executioner as soon as Gus is done talking to her.
Oh, okay. I was,
Oh.
And Gus, for the
Does she
first
have
time,
any-
you see the look of relief on her face as she slides off Alex's blade and slumps to the floor.
I wasn't watching. I was like halfway up the.
Gustavus, don't whine. Like,
I was gonna ask you if she had any words for her sister if we saw her, but all right,
Nope, she's dead
this
now.
is fine.
What's next?
Yep. She's dead. Let's go.
Let's try and sneak down that area with the chittering.
yeah.
Alex will take the body, and he will do the best he can to, like with put her, kind of. I mean, this is obviously an area that they use to put heads for people they were executing already, so it's sort of appropriate. But yeah, Alex will do what he thinks he can after slicing her head off with his cutlass,
Okay.
and then he
Alexander, this is a place where they executed criminals that it's likely they didn't care what the hell happened to their body.
Or they fed it to what's down this hallway.
Okay, let me make sure I get the correct map loaded here.
Equally as likely.
Coming down... The stairway comes back down into... You're coming down through spiderwebs the whole way. So let's go ahead and get dex saves from the three of you who are not small.
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 16.
2.
2.
12.
So you're both restrained as you come through here. So you can go ahead and move your pieces into here. Looking off to your right, you see this donut-shaped cave, again, crisscrossed with spiderwebs. Looking off to your left, this is the origin of the chittering noises. You see a large cave, and it looks like a place where large spiders are raised and tended. There are a couple of small buildings around, and you see a couple of drow humanoids moving back and forth, and several very, very large spiders, large enough that you could put a saddle on their back and ride them around. The walls of this cave are also covered with webbing holding clutches of eggs.
So where were we told the cages of the goblins were? On the farm fields?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The original plan was to sneak back around there and not get spotted.
Right.
And that didn't happen.
And that didn't happen.
You knew that wasn't going to happen.
I didn't know anything. You guys could have made that stealth check.
Statistically, that was not going to happen.
I had plans either way.
Well,
Uh,
suffice to say,
I'm going to pull Connor and Lucius free from their being restrained.
Okay. In doing so, that's going to make sound. You're not going to be able to do that stealthily.
So how many things do we see over there?
You can see some number of very large spiders moving about, large enough that a humanoid could ride them, as well as a couple of buildings. You see some drow moving around, tending to them, and the walls are covered with webbing and clutches of eggs.
Before you do that, can Alex sneak up to the edge of this webbing?
Are they able to unrestrain themselves without making noise?
No.
Okay, then. In that case, I'll hold off,
Okay.
and then when Alex gives a signal, I'll tear them loose.
Alex, you get to the edge of the webbing,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody has noticed you yet. But you do see the largest of the three buildings here, and then two smaller ones closer to where you are. barely more than like little lean-tos up against the wall. Yeah, you see the scene as I've described. Nobody's noticed you.
Slaves?
And are these drow, are they slaves or?
Almost certainly slaves, because they're not wearing colors, they're not wearing armor, they don't have any weapons. They do have some tools to carry out. I don't know what the spider version is of a stable boy is, but that's essentially what they're doing. They're tending to these spiders.
Okay. Is there an obvious entrance to this building that I'm close to?
Yeah, it would be around the front. And then the largest of the buildings, this actually does look like a stable on the far end with the riding spiders, some of them inside of there.
I think I'm good here. I'll nod to Gus.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will rip Connor out first.
Okay, go ahead and make that strength check.
That's a 9.
9. I mean, you're struggling, and it's the clank of your armor and some of his equipment, but at the end of it, he's more stuck than he was.
All right, well, I'll just try again.
Okay.
Alex would like to kind of sneak into this corner and make an active stealth check. Maybe if somebody tries to come over and investigate, they won't see me.
So, I mean, you've heard the noise behind you, but it looks like none of the creatures in the cave have.
That's a...
Yeah.
Is it just a straight naked strength check?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, Alex
It's a
is using the corner of that building to try and hide,
18.
basically.
Okay.
Don't
18.
let anyone come over to investigate.
18. So you managed to get Connor free. And Alex, once again, you hear the struggling behind you, but none of the creatures in the cave seem to have noticed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucius,
Thank you, Gus.
that is a 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
And as you slip Lucius free, you have to snap one of the spider webs to do it. And it causes a cascading effect, causing all of the webs to ripple and move as they're all interconnected. And at that, Alex, you notice that 2 of the drow slaves at the far side of the pens here, who were tending to some of the riding spiders, turn around and see the movement in the web and start to move towards it. So what are you guys doing in the meantime?
All right, so that's 10, 20. That'd be 40 feet of movement. 10. So. Yeah. I guess Gus is going to try and as stealthily as possible make his way towards the drow.
I mean, you're not going to be able to stealth towards them, because if you're moving towards them, they can see you moving towards them. The web is not opaque.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, Gus is going to hunker down and try not to be seen.
Okay, go ahead and make me a hide check there.
Okay. Disadvantage, because I'm wearing heavy armor. Okay, how does 4?
A 4? Okay.
Yeah, 4.
What about Connor and Lucius? Are you guys staying put there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You need a stealth from us too?
Yes, please. If you're staying
You
put
got
there.
it.
Oh, should I make a stealth check now?
I thought you already had. I thought you were hiding.
No, I was asking if I could.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. Go ahead.
And this is rocky terrain, right?
Yes.
18.
25.
Alex gets a 17.
Gus is just clang, 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 clang.
Sorry, a 17?
Yeah.
Okay, bear with me just one moment. Yeah, the 2 drow Gus do indeed see you there in the web. And each of them pulls out from their belt. It's not quite a knife and not quite a pair of scissors, but it's a very delicate and very specialized cutting instrument, which they use to cut through the web in such a way that it just falls loosely around them, and they're not in any danger of being intertwined. They've been working this their whole life, and they move. Here, let me actually, because part of this webbing does not exist anymore. We'll use this nice aqua color So this square of webbing no longer exists. So after a few moments, they cut their way in. And you're not trapped in the web, are you?
No.
I will let you make a deception check if you want to pretend you're trapped in the web. Because they're approaching you with very little fear, as though people being trapped in this kind of web happens all the time.
Sure. Deception.
How'd that go?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they stop a few feet away from you. And they're speaking to each other in the drow tongue, and they're kind of making mocking motions and laughing at your situation. One of them jabs his little tool towards you. One of them...
Alex is going to step out behind him, hold his cutlass to one of their backs, and say nothing and walk away, and maybe you'll live through tomorrow.
Make me a strength intimidation check.
You got it. That is actually better than my charisma intimidation, because it's only a -3 instead of a -2 instead of a -3. The 7.
I understand why they made the base intimidation score charisma, but the way I always see people try to act intimidating in D&D, it's almost always strength. So you got what, a 10?
No, I got a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
The one that you're holding your sword to, it becomes petrified instantly. His hands stop moving, his fingers open, his tool clatters to the ground. The other one spins around, and in drow, and says, "It's just a crusty little gnome," and steps towards
And
you.
when he when he spins around, Gus lunges at him.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna roll initiative right there.
Yeah.
Wow, these guys could not have rolled better on their initiative check.
Excellent.
Oh, here, we can get rid of all of these. We don't need any of these anymore.
That's a 19 plus 6.
Oh, Gus.
I rolled a
Gus is way up there. How you doing?
I rolled
Gus?
a 5.
I like that voice. Can you talk to that voice the entire next campaign, please?
You got it.
Gus, you have initiative. In fact,
Okay.
might as well just let you act twice. You kind of lapped everybody.
Gift of alacrity, yo.
So this one here is terrified because Alex has a sword to his back. This one here is about to lunge forward and grab hold of Alex.
This one is grappled.
Okay.
That is.
He rolled a 1.
I also rolled a 1, but I've got plus 10 to that, so there's 11. Can he beat an 11?
No, he rolled a 1.
Yeah. All right, cool. 11.
I had to stop and think because no, a grapple check's not an attack roll. Doesn't automatically fail. So you grapple him and hold him so he can't, and he starts struggling. And the other one is just frozen there, not moving a muscle. He does not want to get cut.
And Gus makes mocking, like a mocking version of their mocking in his ear.
What's the plan with these two guys?
I have no idea.
So Alex, you get your turn next, and they act. So whatever Alex does here will set the tone, and will tell us. If
I mean,
we need
Alex will just repeat himself in Undercommon. Walk away like nothing happened, and you'll live through the night.
And you see them kind of exchange glances. I mean, the one's not walking away from anything because he's grappled with Gus. But this one, Alex, the one you have your sword to, just nods furiously at you.
Mm-hmm. That's Alex's turn. He'll dodge, action-wise.
Okay. And yeah, Gus, the other one that you're holding agrees.
Can you release a grapple off of your turn?
No, but if nobody else is going to do anything, we just come off initiative and they'll go their separate ways. So as
Yeah,
long
Gus-
as Lucius and Connor aren't going to murder them.
No.
Gus asks asks Alexander, Alex, how interested do you think these slaves would be in a slave revolt? I don't know the mental state of a drow slave.
Well, you already
other
met
than the
one.
I know, he was terrified.
So if you wanted to get these slaves to revolt, you would have to convince them that success is assured. Because otherwise, their lot in life is worse than it currently is.
I mean, maybe
we
if
already
can
got owned by
convince
the
them
dragon.
from the number, maybe based on the number of drow we've already killed.
I mean, do you tell them how many you've killed?
I lost count.
That's, yeah. 19 that first week.
Yeah. We killed
Plus-
a few more before getting owned by the dragon.
Yeah, there was like another 6 or 8.
We killed one like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, we killed a bunch 5 minutes. Oh, right. Sorry, we killed a bunch 15 minutes ago.
So you guys are letting these guys go? Because if you do, they just go back and disappear inside the stable.
That sounds great to me. I don't know about
That
this.
sounds perfect.
I think if we want to work on a slave revolt, let's work on that later. Seems like getting out of here is the right now plan.
Yeah. We need a place to hold up, take a rest, and then go back at the... Because...
There's 2 other exits, plus if we get back to the one where we came in.
Okay, so what's next?
Where do we go?
Do you think we could hold up in this little spider village?
I feel like
Probably
somebody's going
not.
to catch us here pretty quickly.
Yeah, probably not, because
Yeah.
there will be overseers.
Yeah.
If they're not present at the moment, there will be within every couple hours, almost assuredly.
Okay.
Maybe you should take out the overseers.
Just lay an ambush, kill the overseers? No, that would draw attention. Because the
Uh,
overseers don't come back.
From
They're
our
sitting there.
map that we got, do we have some rough idea of where the other exits are? Do we have been through?
Yeah, on the other side of this little spider village. This other
Let's
tunnel.
head for that exit.
So you're just gonna walk through the middle of the spider village?
I mean, I've got 1 invisibility. What else do I have? Oh, damn it! Stupid wand got lost. It had alter self at one point. It looked like Drow. What do I actually have?
We really need a...
Yeah, I've got an invisibility for 1 person on a scroll.
We really need a long rest. Holy crap.
Well, I mean, we're probably not going to get one at this rate, so
You guys
let's...
have done a lot of combat since last time you did a long rest. You fought a little bit of everything. And yeah, as you guys step out from the web, I mean, you see the other drow. They've noticed you, but the 2 that you've released, it looks like nobody is going to stand in your way.
All right.
They try to give you a wide berth, and none of them... Doesn't look like they have any way to raise an alarm except to just shout.
Right.
Why am I in front? I should not be in front.
Well, Gustavus is right in front. That's why.
There we go.
And yeah, when you guys come around here, the tunnel starts to take on the telltale signs of one of the natural purple worm tunnels.
All right.
And it becomes very narrow and very uniform. Just like the one where you left the previous drow slave you met.
Yep. How far back do we want to go? Because we need to try and take a moment.
I mean, feel like we want to go like a 15-minute hike down this tunnel, at least. I don't know how far. Like, we can't go far enough that they won't. That if they wanted to, that they couldn't
We're
find us.
determined.
Right? Yeah, a determined pursuit would find us regardless.
So about 15 minutes down the way?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Far enough to where they would have to travel down to see us with their dark vision.
Eventually, that ice wall is going to melt, and then they're going to come in there and not find us.
Well, I mean, when you go far enough down the tunnel, there have been twists and turns, and you'll have gone up and down a little bit. So line of sight will have been is pretty narrow. You can kind of count on not having more than 100 feet line of sight in either direction at any given time. The tunnel does twist around. So you guys find a nice little divot, and you've already taken 1 long rest today, so you'll have to hunker down for a full day. Is that the plan?
Yeah. I'll have a
I don't
better
like
plan.
doing that. I don't like doing that.
What's your better plan?
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm saying I'm doing this under protest.
I don't have a better plan. I just don't like this one.
Yeah. Doing this plan under protest.
Noted.
Noted.
Are you guys setting a watch? And if
Yes.
so, in which
Oh,
direction? In both directions?
All of them.
So here's the deal. You can have two people sit a watch at a time, one watching to the north, one watching to the south. However, the tunnel bends in such a way that those two people can each see the two that are still resting, but they can't see each other.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Who's taking... We'll have to do this in 3 shifts. Who's taking
As
the
long
first
as Lucius is not doing any kind of strenuous activity, he can keep watch for the entire time.
So Lucius is taking all 3 shifts?
Yeah, I can cover all 3 shifts on one end.
And then the other 3 of you are each going to take a shift?
Yeah.
On the other side,
that
yeah.
sounds good.
So who's first?
Alex will go first.
Alex. Should we just go alphabetically? Connor, then Gus?
Yeah, it seems fine.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and take the benefits of the long rest.
Oh, and Alex builds a new autonomon.
What's this one's name?
I haven't decided yet.
You know, Jamie Lannister says that he stops naming his horses because you get attached to them, and then it's terrible when they die in battle.
Spare. This one's name is Spare.
I like that,
God.
actually. Yeah, let's go with
No.
Spare.
Also, I need to go get a scrappy tile.
I was gonna say I got the name for the next Artificer Sentinel, and it's Drowsy.
It has to start with an S. We've got a theme.
Well, see, because it's Drow here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I got it. Definitely got it.
Does anyone want a different infused item? Everybody still good with what they have?
I'm good with what I got.
My bow rocks.
Can you think of something better than
I
the
feel
boots
like those
fly?
boots have paid off more than the cloak.
Right. Okay.
Unless you want the cloak, or I don't know.
No, the boots are fine. Who knows? I may fall to my death and need to get back up.
Boots. I could make armor that resisted cold.
Look at all of the dumb spells I can cast now.
That's
I already-
the only other. If you think we're gonna fight the dragon, I could give you someone cold resist armor.
That actually might be good for Connor. Actually, I can give myself resistance.
Are you good with mobility without the boots?
I mean, to be fair, I don't want to like. We'll be fighting a creature who can fly, but
Yeah.
In that case, I would probably be fending off. There's going to be plenty of things on the ground that are trying to kill us as well.
Connor, do you want ice resist armor?
I think Gus having the boots would be better. if I'm
Okay.
being honest.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, you guys.
just-
I mean, it's a full day. You guys have a lot of patching up you need to do in this quiet tunnel. You have time to eat a meal. You have time to build a spare. Lucius,
Sure.
or maybe Gus. I'm not sure which one of you is watching the tunnel to the south, back towards the spider village.
I guess.
Let's say I was watching the south.
Lucius, make a perception check.
$14.
Okay. Lucius, after
Sir.
almost a full day of rest, you become aware of some noises to the south around the first bend, down towards the Purple Worm Tunnel. And very, very soft, but it sounded like people moving in your direction and then stopping just around the corner, around the bend. So this would be a good 80, 90 feet down the tunnel from your position.
Yeah, when we regroup, Lucius says, probably walking into an ambush.
Well, let's don't keep them waiting.
All right, what do we have to do to not be surprised when we walk into this ambush?
So you guys take the benefits of the short rests. You've gotten your hit dice back. You've recharged your slots and everything.
I forgot to write down my hit dice. Yep, there we go.
Okay. So who's taking point as you come down to the south?
Got-
And are you being
And-
stealthy about it?
You know what? I don't think we should be stealthy.
Yeah,
We know
let me
they're
put my heavy armor back on.
let's make them make them think that we don't know they're coming.
Well, okay.
Gus is just that's an excuse that Gus came up with out of his butt because he knows he can't be stealthy. He's gonna make it look like he is. It's part of the plan. See, that's how you look competent.
Okay, so coming up, you see a small group of drow just hold up in the tunnel.
Ah, sorry.
Two of them in the back you recognize immediately as the two drow slaves that you allowed to live. The three in the middle are all archers, the kinds that you guys have been killing these guys by the bucket load. The one in the front is one of the elite warriors, although not one you've met before. And so he has a great sword slung along his back, and the three drows behind him have arrows nocked. But as you guys come into view, he holds his hand out, and the archers lower their bows. And he shows you both of his hands. And then he calls out in common and says, "I have no wish to die today."
Gus looks back at Lucius and says, "We have no wish to kill you necessarily."
He says he's very glad to hear that.
But Lucius, help.
Help what? Lucius lowers his wet equipment, steps forward to the front, says, "Then you wish to parlay with us?"
Oh, I have no authority to do that. I am to kill you, take you captive, put you to rout. I have my orders, but and he looks back at the men backing him, who don't look happy at all. But I fear I may not have the ability.
The wherewithal.
Oh, don't mistake me. I would if I could. But you've killed many number of our men. One of the mind flayers. All of the Minotaur, from what I hear. And who knows what else?
Who knows indeed.
Please, you may call me Kirathel.
All right, Kirathel. Why haven't you ordered your men to loose arrows and try and put us all to the sword now?
Oh, because I don't want you to draw your weapons and your spell focuses and murder us where we stand. I would like to live to breathe another day, if you don't mind.
Then
And
what are your terms?
how invested are you in living to breathe that other day with Uriadul still in command of this house?
Well, I have no intention on going back and reporting that I failed. I would be gravely disciplined, and I could not vouchsafe for the well-being of my men in that regard. So we will have to come upon some other course of action, mutually beneficial for us both. Perhaps an exchange of sorts.
What did you have in mind?
I represent a mutual friend, a man that I believe you have become acquainted with relatively recently, during the attack yesterday. A man who wishes to part Iriadul from his magic trinket. If you were to assist in this venture, you would have his cooperation. And he feels like he selects that word very carefully.
Would you... Who is this person?
His name is, and he has some difficulty enunciating it. His name is Athenalax. I believe you became acquainted yesterday when he attempted to entrap you outside of the priestess's prison.
A look of recognition spreads across Lucius's face. Oh, him. I see.
I'm afraid there are conditions.
What conditions would that be? Lucius says.
And now he starts to look a little nervous. I've been led to believe that understand not that I'm not passing judgment. I perhaps would have done much the same in your situation, but
Certainly not.
you gave
out with
the
it.
man your word and then immediately broke it. And so while he still covets Iriadul's device, he has misgivings about his ability to trust you.
Our mutual friend had intentions on handing me over to the Mind Flayers, and I wasn't about to allow that to happen.
And he nods. Understandable. Like I said, in your shoes, I might have done much the same. But you see, this does put us in a bit of a predicament. If Athenalax cannot trust you, and I cannot report that you are able to help him relieve Iriadul of his trinket, then I'm kind of stuck in the middle, you see.
Does Athenalax bear any ill will to the city of Dunfoss?
I would hardly imagine Athenalax knows where the city of Dunfoss is.
Perfect.
I have a feeling that his wrath is a little more narrow. He looks back at the drow.
So,
The implication being that Lucius is the sole focus of this dragon's wrath right now.
I'll go.
I'm afraid the condition is, and he reaches behind his cloak and he pulls out what looks like a strip of gauze. And he says, Athenalax feels that an accord must be reached between you and him, an accord bound in blood. So he's holding the gauze in his right hand, and with his left he draws a knife. Not a dagger, just a standard knife from a bootstrap. Says, if you don't mind, I will approach now. Not with any ill intent in mind. Understand I am under orders by a very powerful superior.
Hmm.
Do you allow him to approach?
Lucius beckons him forward. Yeah.
He does.
Oh.
He says, do you understand that if you agree to the terms and still fail, it does mean my death?
What are the terms?
We'll get to that, but first there's ground to cover. To understand what's exactly at stake.
I will enter into no pact until I know the terms of which I am agreeing.
He says, Athenalax will not take up your cause in the fight unless he can be assured that the artifact is removed from Iriadul's grip. Until that happens, he will remain your foe, if things were to come to violence. I, too, would have to stand in defense of the temple. There are others like me who would rather Athenalax and not Iriadul be in command.
Gus steps back and he goes down to Alex. He says, Alex.
Yeah.
I still have the Kodrashi fork is still, and I do the
Yeah.
motion.
And
I
Alex
guess-
nods.
He goes, I think if I do that, though, very bad things will happen. So, yeah. But I think I could get the fork away.
So, Lucius, he hands you the knife and the gauze, and he gives you instructions to carve your arm from wrist to the inner elbow, a deep gouge so that you're bleeding, and then wrap it up in gauze until the gauze is completely saturated with your blood. This is what Athenalax demands of you for breaking your word earlier. Lucius, make an Arcana check.
Yeah. Willing to bet I know what this is already, but that's a 22.
22. The gauze and the knife, neither are magical, but this sounds very ritualistic to you. It sounds
Yeah.
like if you give of your blood to the dragon, it will be granting him some measure of power over you. Although, you can't be sure what.
At this point, Lucius is just collecting patrons with the intent to have like a 10-car pile up where they're all vying for his soul when he dies.
I know where Lucius is going at this point.
So do you agree, Lucius?
So be it.
All right. So
Lucius.
take 1 point of slashing damage. As you cut a line from your wrist down to the inside of your elbow. Patch the gauze down until the gauze is completely saturated. And then when you remove it and hand it back and it's sodden. And he takes it and he closes it up gently, what looks like a square of silk. He looks very pleased. Like this has gone a lot easier than he was expecting.
Well, to be fair,
Now you will tell me exactly the terms, because I've no stomach for altering a deal after it has been made.
Very well. And yeah, he tells you that however next you choose to assault the temple, Iriadul has had his fill of you. He's tired of throwing his archers and his minotaur against you. And in the next bout, however you approach, he intends to make an appearance himself. And Iriadul feels completely invincible with this artifact. The dragon's going to join the fight. They have no small number of mind flayers who are loyal to Iriadul. Most of the drow as well. So you're going to have the entire temple against you. When you roll initiative, everybody's going to be on the opposite side of the fight. If you're able to get the artifact away from Iriadul, however you manage to do it, Athenalax will turn the tides of the battle at that point. And then from there, it should be over relatively swiftly. The actual plan for how to approach the temple or how you're going to do it, that's left to you. How best you feel to do it. Oh, there's one more thing. Lucius, you carry a sword or a knife or a dagger or anything?
Yeah, he carries a blade.
He points to the blade and says, they're not going to believe that I came back having met no opposition. So he pulls aside part of his armor and says, a glancing blow, if you would.
They know me enough by now. They know I generally don't engage in hand-to-hand combat unless it's an absolute act of desperation. So,
I would love to tell them that you were desperate. I feel that would go over quite well, if we're being honest.
Lucius is instead about to cast Eldritch Blast.
You might kill him if you do that.
Just give me the knife, Lucius.
Absolutely not. This is my deal right now.
Do it. Do something.
I'll do it.
You're gonna Eldritch Blast him?
No, I'm gonna stab him then.
And he grunts in pain. Oh! As you wrench the knife free, and he clamps his hand down. Very well. And he turns and he snaps his fingers. And as he does, the archers fall upon the slaves with their own knives and draw them across their throats. The two slaves die screaming in the tunnel. The drow limps back. This is so the ragtag group of survivors, those of us with enough grit remaining, can come back and say that the interlopers fought desperately, but do intend to bring their violence back. Within the next, and he turns back, say, 12 hours?
Gus gives him a thumbs up.
And yeah, the four living drow make their way back down the tunnel once again.
Although they didn't have to kill the slave.
Hey, are we going to bring up another Mulan quote that we've been bandying about? How many messengers does it take to deliver a message?
4.
Hey, Lucius. If I
Connor.
promise you infinite power and immortal life, would you sell your soul to me?
Yeah.
2.
No, listen, no. I'm on board with this. Like, he's doing it on act. He's not doing it on purpose. But at this point, that might be Lucius's like end game goal. Like, just pull a John Constantine and like sell his soul to multiple hells of Lord, where they have to go to war over it when he dies.
This is just Connor being Connor. Connor is.
Tis a dangerous game I play, Connor. I know.
You know, Lucius, for a man who really doesn't like making deals, you make a lot of deals, and you give me heart palpitations every single time.
All right, so what's next?
Gus is like looking at his cut arm.
I can't believe they stole the Kodrashi fork from us. I can't believe we're down here because of the Kodrashi.
No, they didn't steal it from us.
Oh, they totally stole it.
We delivered it into their waiting hands.
No,
We're gonna when we get out of here, we're going back to kill the Archbishop, right? That's like plan. That's like step 2, right?
All right.
Apparently we have to kill half a
Before we go
gunpowder.
any further, form up. Alex pulls out a vial, splashes a little bit over Gus, splashes a little bit over Lucius, splashes a little bit over Connor. Everybody that's an aid, you get 5 more temporary and maximum hit points, or 5 more hit points that start, 5 max HP, and you have 5 more hit points now. We got anything else we want to do, like gifts of anything or anything before we go in there?
Yeah, you want alacrity, Gus?
Yeah, I'll take
All
it.
right, take alacrity.
Yes, what the fuck?
Kill half of Gunfoss at this rate.
Right before we go in, right before we go in, Gus is going to cast Blur on himself. But other than that,
Okay.
Kodrashi fork. Can't believe this is all over the Kodrashi fork.
So what is your plan of attack?
front
I
door.
say we meet them just straight head on.
Yeah, front door.
I
Yeah,
mean,
front
now
door.
if you wanted to talk to the slaves and get them to do a slave revolt, now's the proper time.
Well, when you come back in through here,
Mhm.
the spiders are all there, but they're penned up, and there are no more drow in the area.
Okay.
I guess what we'll have to do is just make our way over to this. Like, okay, say so. I guess just here and meet them on the field of battle. I guess make our
Okay.
way back over that way. Does anybody have a better idea?
No, I think that's our best approach at this point because
Yeah.
they know we're coming.
Because we can't go back. I mean, unless you think we can go back through here and
So
down through
My-
the hole again.
my only reservation about this is that they had a major advantage last time we went into this area. Like they clearly.
Not particularly. Like, you guys were hiding behind a thing and shooting them. They basically only perforated the people that ran out. That were out there. But that they could, of course, seal the hole. So,
I mean, are we gonna get ready for Gus, you to do that thing, and then we all just deal with the consequences? Is that where we're at?
So
I
what
think-
is the thing? I want to make sure that I understand what's about to happen. Your plan is to approach from here the same way you did before?
Yeah.
I think what we should do is, Lucius, you have 2 spell slots, right? Plus your Arcanums. Is that how Warlocks work? 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So theoretic, and Thunderstep is 60 feet, right? How tall are the walls?
90 feet. But
I mean, inside
What do you-
this area, the walls stretch outside of sight. It's an enormous... It's essentially an open-air cavern.
No, I mean the walls of the castle.
Oh, 30 feet.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The towers are 30 feet?
How tall are the battlements?
That's what I'm trying to determine. 30. The walls are 30 feet. Each floor, the towers are 3 stories tall. So the towers are I have this in my notes. I just can't find it right now. My goodness.
What I'm
Whatever.
saying,
The towers
is
are the same height as the walls. We'll just be.
we
simple
could
about
get in. We could get onto the walls. Two of
Sure.
us can fly. Lucius, you can cast fly, or you can thunderstrap a person, yourself and a person up there. The only person that we can't get up there easily. Oh, did you make a new wand?
Yeah, it has fairy fire in it.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to know what it was. The only person the only member of the group we can't get up there easily is Spare.
I mean, if Lucius casts a big fly,
So
I can get spare fly as well.
and then we can go up there, just go straight for it and go in. Don't even give them time to shoot arrows at us if we can help it.
They will.
We get up under their range, I think, is the quickest thing. Because the soldiers are not the threat here. It's the mind flayers and the dragon and Iriadul himself.
yeah.
I have an idea for Iriadul. I don't know how difficult it's going to be. Gus kind of winces at that. But
Oh,
Plan A.
Gustavus, you've got the ability to pull the fork away from the group, from Iriadul's grasp, yes.
yes, because I'm still bound to it, as far as I can tell.
Okay, so what's next?
Are you?
Yeah, I never pulled it off, and Brookroad never told me that I wasn't bound to it.
Okay.
The only way he's gonna see if Iriadul's done some kind of shenanigans is gonna
It's
be
worth a shot.
if he attempts to do it now.
I mean, if
If he doesn't do it now, then
We have to do it in front of the dragon, otherwise the
Yeah.
dragon is going to...
pulverize us. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
yeah, he's already done a good job of that.
So, like I said, I don't think any amount of subterfuge... I'm open for discussion here, but I don't think any amount of subterfuge is going to help us here. They know we're here.
I
They
am
know we're coming.
persuaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just worried that you're going to try to bamp that fork and. Oh boy.
We will
Okay.
we won't know until we try, and so
Well, here's the thing: is I think there is a pretty good chance something very bad will happen to me when that does it. But I think the dragon being on your side outweighs anything bad happening to me. So let's go.
Oh, we've all made it this far together.
Hopefully, we make it to the end. But we're in a bad situation, and you got to take some risks.
We are terrible investigators.
No, I think this is proof we're terrible adventurers.
No, he's right. You're much better adventurers
No,
than
that-
you ever were.
that was very-
investigators.
that was a very deliberate line.
yeah, yeah, we're terrible adventurers to be sure.
No, you're great
investigators.
adventurers. You're terrible investigators.
Terrible investigators.
You do fine at the adventuring.
Could it be that we've completely we've completely misjudged our calling in life?
It's a paradigm shift. It's fine. Let's go.
All right. So
Yeah.
your plan is to form up in this area.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you could just take the spider tunnels. There is fine.
Everyone keeps saying form up like we're gonna form in a Voltron. That's all I can think of now.
You're right. What's what we're gonna do?
Is Connor one of the legs, the arm? What is he? What is
Oh,
he?
he's got to
Steel-
be the
Okay, all right.
head.
So the steel defender is the chest, right?
Of course.
Form feet and legs, form arms and body. And
All
I'll
right. Go ahead and
the
form
head.
up in here. However you want to do this.
Oh, I didn't mean to grab everybody, but here we are.
Stop it!
I don't know why it's doing that.
I mean, and as you approach, you can see the drow lined up along the wall. And I mean, you can't see much of anything else, but as you're kind of forming up, the front door of the place of the lower tower opens.
This is gonna be over here then.
Okay, then, yeah.
And a creature bounds out of it that you recognize. It looks like a large, medium-sized badger made out of metal, but it's been terribly scrapped. And instead of a badger's claws bounding against the floor, it's this bizarre black stony growth coming out of its joints, so it's skittering forward on Spider's legs.
No!
Is it
No!
is it Steely? Or is it
No. It's Scrappy.
or is it Scrappy?
It's Scrappy.
Now I'm mad.
And exiting the
That's
door behind it,
upsetting.
exiting the door behind it, to back it up, are 4 Drider. You guys know what Drider are, don't you?
Yeah.
Are they drow riders?
They're like,
No.
I mean, they are, kind of. It's like, imagine a centaur, but instead of a half man, half horse, it's half drow, half enormous, terrible spider.
I only see 2 of them.
It stinks.
I'll pick them all up here in a second. Let me make sure that I get...
I have appropriately labeled.
I am upset. I am legit upset now.
I am as well. Like, it means he's got the Lantern of Revealing on him.
Not anymore, no.
Not sure where that is. That is a slap in the face. That, wow. No, for real.
For a moment, as these creatures come out of the front door, kind of the van, and you see drow all along the wall. And, I mean, you can't see the ones in the arrow loops, but you know that they would be there. Then you hear, in your mind, a voice echoing from the top of the tower. And he says to you all, "Citizens of Dunfoss, in good standing, you will recognize me as Eriadul, your king. I have not died. I have not abdicated the throne. As such, you are all my subjects. Lay down your arms. Come forward and pledge fealty to me. We will see that your former acts of violence are forgiven, and that your special skill sets are put to better use going forward for the great majesty of this country and my country in the land above. What say you all?"
That's just looks at Lucius and shrugs.
Lucius is like, "Yeah, I'm done now. Let's go." He's right. I guess all eyes are on Lucius at this point, because he's made exactly this argument before.
Lucius steps forward, says, "Your Highness, with all due respect, go to the 9 hells.
Like
Just cast blur on himself.
all 9 at once?
All of them
Right.
at once."
Everybody has 5 seconds to cast whatever spell you want to cast on yourself before initiative is rolled.
Blur.
Alex will cast
Fly.
haste.
I've already cast Gisp Alacrity on Gus. So that's basically it.
And everybody else does aid.
Fly on myself and spare.
Oh, there's already a white one here. Oh, and a purple one. Well, purples go way down to 0.
Wait, how does Connor get up the wall?
Yeah, I think Fly also tags Connor, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. And it's a fly speed of 30.
60.
Okay. I'm flying.
Are you then?
Yeah. Should we roll for initiative at this point?
Yes, you should.
Okay. Oh.
I accidentally closed my character sheet. I hate when I do
Don't
that.
need that anyway.
And then this would also
Oh,
be
wow.
excellent time. After you've rolled initiative and placed your marker, we'll go ahead and take a 15-minute break. And you guys can think about what you've done. I like how Lucius is out in front again.
Yeah.
We never learn.
Let's go ahead and get your coffee, get your bagels. We'll reconvene at 6:35.